So you guys are at the bottom of your last page. We're going to do example 8 before example 7. So this is asking us to find all of the factors, and it gives us one of them. So remember, 30 divided by the factor of 6 gets us the factor of 5. So we're thinking of this as like our big polynomial divided by one of the factors will get us the other factors. So I'm going to go ahead and use synthetic division. This is 6x to the third. Ooh. So I'm going to have my 3 columns, x to the third, x squared, and x. So I can have negative 35, or not negative 35, 6, negative 23, negative 35, and then I forgot my constant is 0. Set this equal to 0 and x equals 5. Bring the 6 down. 6 times 5 is 30. Add to get 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Add to get 0. 0, 0. So I have 6x gets a squared, and the 7 just gets an x. So that's one of my factors. And the other factor is x minus 5. Made a mistake. This gets 7x. Now, I look at these. I cannot reduce x minus 5 any further, so that is what it is. I can pull an x out of these. So that's my final answer for this one. Pause this if you need to. I'm going to go do example 7. Example 7 gives me one factor in the big factor, so the big polynomial. So if I take the polynomial divided by a factor, I'll get another factor. So basically it's like this divided by x plus 6 is how we can think of it. So I have my x to the fourth all the way down to x to the third, or x to the third, second, first, and my constant. I'm like negative 30, negative 11, 29, 11, and 1. If I set this equal to 0, my magic number is x equals negative 6. So bring down a 1, negative 6, add, I get 5, negative 30, I get a negative 1, get a positive 6, add down, get negative 5, positive 30, 0. So I end up with one of my factors is x plus 6. My other factor I just got was this becomes 1x cubed plus 5x squared minus 1x minus 5 with a remainder of 0, which is awesome. Now that is through 4 terms. So what we do when we have 4 terms is, you guys know to do factor by grouping. So we can now look at how we can simplify this through factor by grouping. So I can pull out an x squared. I end up with an x plus 5. Pull out a negative 1. End up with an x plus 5. So I end up with pulling out an x plus 5. X squared minus 1. This guy sticks with us. Then I know that this one is a difference of cubes, so I can write that as x plus 1, x minus 1. So that ends up being my answer. I'm going to put a U try up here so you can work on it. Pause it. Go ahead and pause this and work on these. The next slide will say the answer. So go ahead and pause this and work on this. So this is the answer to the last two you try. So if you have any questions on these, go ahead and pause this and look at this. I will see you guys next class. Next class, you will turn in Skill 17 and Skill 18 homework. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today. Hope to see you guys soon.